Hey, Moose Country! Welcome to another episode of Let Us Be Heard.
What's up, Moose fam? Calling back here for another episode of Let Us Be Heard. I'm going to be flying solo today as our guest could only do it at this point in time, and unfortunately, Dylan is at work. We got a banger today. This gentleman has been with the organization for a very long time, and he's been a pinnacle piece in all of our organization's rich history. Please welcome Brian Urquhart. Brian Urquhart, man, what a pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you so much. How you making out?
Thanks for having me. Yeah, no, great. Despite a rainy day in Halifax, I'm feeling pretty good.
Well, I mentioned your beautiful view in the background there. Something we hold very dear to us on our jersey. So I love seeing that in the background. That's awesome.
Yeah, no, it's like I said, iconic Halifax. So no, we're very of course we're all like you, we're proud Haligonians and proud to be where we're from, and it's a nice view to look out from the office every day. So
1,000,000%, man. So listen, so the people who may be living under a rock or may not be as familiar with the team as some of us, what is your current position with the Halifax Mooseheads?
yeah, so I'm the president of the team. So I look after our day-to-day business operations, and I report to our owners, Sam and Peter Simon. So we have a team of 11 others here. That could involve everything from merchandise to ticket sales, marketing, the in-game production, all that's kind of wrapped into the business ops. So that's my current role now.
Beautiful. And what's your hockey background?
My hockey background, I nothing special, nothing illustrious, that's for sure. I've been in hockey my whole life, grew up playing. I just played, went to Acadia and played a little bit of junior B with Windsor. And had a brother that played 4 years in the league. Actually was in the league when I first started with the Mooseheads. Yeah, I'm just like a lot like you and a lot of your listeners, just a hockey fan in general. And played some other sports, of course, growing up too, but just always been in sports my whole life.
So if that's the case and you don't have a hockey background, how did you land? Like, I know you started kind of from the bottom with the Mooseheads, but how did you become a part of the organization to begin with?
Yeah, so I was in, like I said, I went to Acadia, and then when I came out of school, I knew I had two loves when I was in school. It was marketing and accounting was a little bit more of the direct route, or a little bit more of the risk-free route, I would say. So I took the accounting, all my accounting classes, and was in the CPA program. I guess then it was the CA program, and wasn't really loving it. Job came open with the Mooseheads in group sales. Interviewed with Bobby Smith and the new owner, Bobby Smith at that time, and Kevin Cameron. Yeah, and got the position. I did. My brother actually was in the league at that time too, so that the name was somewhat familiar. So yeah, hit it off in the interview and started, I guess, November 1st, 2003. So yeah,
That's crazy, man. It's been 21 years now with the team. That's absolutely incredible. I in your introduction here, when I was introducing the next guest, I said, like, you've been instrumental in some of our history for the past. I didn't know it was 21 years, honestly. But that's incredible to be with the team, the franchise, that long. And you started out as in a meager position. Am I correct?
I started out in group sales, so it was a brand new position actually. So like Bobby had just bought the team a few months prior to when I was hired, and there was no one in group sales. Like, we had someone that was doing ticket sales at the time. They kind of did season ticket sales and group sales at the same time, and he wanted to focus a little bit more on groups. So that would be like the minor hockey teams, a lot that your viewers are familiar with that come to the games. So yeah, started there, and yeah, and just kind of from that point on, moved into a marketing role, which, as I mentioned previously, was kind of my first love when I was in school. Yeah, and the rest is kind of history. So it's been nice. I've been able to do a few different positions within the organization, which I think kind of helps. Certainly, my role right now. I've been in a few people's shoes here, and it's nice for them to be able to talk to me, and we can bounce things off each other, and I can kind of reiterate how it was when I was in that position. And of course, things have changed, but it's I've certainly found that useful during my time.
So yeah, you've had, that's actually my next question. Actually, you've had a lot of positions with the Mooseheads. Aside from the current role that you're in, because I mean, who doesn't want to be president, right? What was your favorite position other than this? So what did you look back on? Like I had some fond memories of that.
Yeah, I did. You know what? Group sales, honestly, when I first started out, I was in my early 20s. I For me, that position, it's really grassroots. You're dealing with minor hockey kids that want to go to the games. You're selling them a discounted ticket to see, the next Nathan McKinnon or Jordan Dumais or Mathis Russo, you name it. And it was, I don't know, it was really rewarding. It was fun, and there was no one in that position before, so it was really cool to deal with all those kids, get them out to get games with their families. And that's sort of what we're all about, right? Is we're a family product. We know I'm sure you're in the same boat. We have, my little guy comes to games. That's basically junior hockey. Being able to have fun with your family. It's no bashing the NHL or anything like that, but it's most of us can't afford to take our family of 2 to 4 to every NHL game, but we like to think of the Mooseheads. It's a little bit more affordable, and we still think you can have a great time watching.
So I've said for years actually that I'm a I'm a huge fan of junior hockey. I feel like the boys have more to prove, and I think it's a better show than the NHL. I get bored watching my team play on the big screen. I'd much sooner be in the stands watching our boys of Halifax, fighting for their future. It's incredible hockey, man. Absolutely incredible hockey.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, no, I think it's a great product. I mean, obviously, I still have a passion for it being here as long as I've been, and it's neat to kind of see those. I've been fortunate enough to see lots of kids come in here at 15 and 16, and as young boys, and leave as men at 19 and 20, and now a lot of them have families and wives and kids, and
Do you keep in touch
it's
with
kind
many
of
of them?
great to see. What's that,
Do
sorry?
you still keep in touch with many of them?
Some, yeah,
Yeah.
some try to. I mean, with my role where I'm focused a little bit more, I'm more on the business side, of course. I don't have quite as close of contact with the players as a hockey operations department would be, but of course, with some of the joint efforts that we do, whether it be the hospital visits, community visits, school visits, a lot of programs where we have our players out in the community, you get to know some of these kids. So yeah, so some of them they're still, and a lot of them were fortunate, as you've probably seen, have still come to our games. Like
Yep.
there's still lots. We have an alumni program that we're starting to build back up. I just actually got an email before I came in here from Bruce Gillis, who played with us even before my time, and he's playing a role in our alumni club. So yeah, it's fun to stay in touch with those guys and kind of reflect back on when they played here and now what they're doing and the successes they're having off the ice.
I gotta tell you, that's a wonderful program, the alumni program. I have a friend who used to play for the Halifax Mooseheads in Jonathan Boone, and
Oh, cool.
and he's super pumped about it, and I love that because these boys, they give a lot. Like their bodies are sore at the end of it, like they injuries and giving up valuable time with their families. They put a lot into this, so like. It's a lot of people don't understand all that goes into this, and these boys put a lot into it. And for you guys to give it back to them even years after they're not with the franchise anymore is amazing. It's a great thing to do.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. It's important. I mean, our best ambassadors are our former players,
Yeah.
right? So, and it's great to see, you mentioned a few there, people that are having, our former players that are having impacts on the community, whether they be minor hockey coaches, we have police officers, firefighters. Not everyone, of course, is going to be Nathan McKinnon, Jonathan Drouin, go on to the NHL and whatnot, but we've had some very successful alumni that have gone on to do great things. So it's it's neat to see and look back.
It's funny because out of all the names you just named, all the titles that you just named, the jobs that you just named, a player came into my head for every one of them. Like the police officer who we see in the building every now and again. Metcalf is now a firefighter, and the Benny is a coach. Right, you're right. They're impacting their communities in a very positive way. Not just hockey. They've went on to be leaders of their communities, and it's special, man. You hear that word a lot, special, but it is.
Yeah, no, it is. It's neat. I mean, the reality is, and Colin, like not everyone is going to go on and play in the NHL. Like, we do have some players obviously that have been fortunate to go to that next level, but it's important that, we groom young men as much as we groom players, so or NHL players. So turning them into solid citizens that can contribute to the community after they leave their time at the Mooseheads is important. It's at the top of the list.
100%. But let's be honest. It feels amazing the fact that we breed champions in our organization. We're proud to have so many former Mooseheads in the show right now. Like it's incredible.
Oh, of course, yeah. No, we've been, Cam and his team have done a great job. We've been fortunate to. It's always fun watching the kids walk up on stage and get drafted or hear their name on the draft floor, and then when they make the next jump, as you guys know, we all know the names. We've been fortunate to be able to watch them, whether it be in May in the playoffs or in October, when you're watching them go head to head each other in a regular season game. It's pretty cool. You're not wrong.
So we'll move on here. So you said your position doesn't affect the actual gameplay and who's on the team and such. Is there any comment that you can give on the coaching staff or their lack of at this point?
Yeah, so my role with the organization is I look after, like I said, I kind of our day-to-day. So I report to our owner on the business operations. Cam Russell, our GM, would do the same on the hockey operations. So Cam and ownership will be focused on the coaching search and finding the right person to go behind the bench for next season. So I know they've been exhausting all avenues there and having lots of conversations. I'm not directly involved in those conversations, so probably not right for me to comment, but that's basically my role with the team is to focus on the day-to-day business and making sure we're putting on a good product off the ice. And Cam's focused on putting on a good product, and the coaches are focused on putting on a good product on the ice. Yeah.
So you have no say when it comes to acquisition of players, coaches. You don't get involved in that whatsoever.
I don't know. I don't really get involved in that. And I shouldn't be. I don't know. I don't know any of the star midget player, U18 players. I guess we should be drafting or free agents. They don't want me doing that for sure. I will get asked, of course, from time to time. Hey, we're thinking of this person, that person. Do you know them? If I have a connection or whatever, and I'll give my opinion, of course, when I'm asked. But yeah, no, they're more than capable of finding the right person and drafting the right players for sure. So they don't need my help.
Look, to Cam's credit, he's been with us a long time. He's built championship teams, and in all honesty, the last 2 years in a row, my opinion, at least, is we've had 2 years with championship teams. The first year we couldn't make it. Last year some stuff went down, but I don't blame that on the organization. I think you guys have done an incredible year or an incredible job at least the last 2 years. And Cam's known for building championships teams. Like, all credit to him. I think he's wonderful at what he does in acquisition.
Yeah, I mean, we need to. I'm sure Cam would say the same thing. Certainly don't want to speak for Cam, but every year's a little different. We can be, one of the more fun seasons I've had here was actually Nathan's first year. When Jonathan joined us at Christmas time, we were, a young team kind of with nothing to lose. We ended up going down early to Quebec, coming back and beating them in that series in Game 7 at the Colisée. And then ended up losing to Rimouski in a tough one in the semifinals. But that's a surprising run. Of course, this year was a disappointment. We're all disappointed with how this year went. And hopefully we can learn from it and be better. You're going to have those seasons though where you expect to go on long runs and they fall short, or maybe you go a little bit further than you were expected. That too is junior hockey. I mean, you're dealing with kids, so things can change. We all love the World Juniors, and I think the word that we always talk about with World Juniors is momentum. We've seen so many swings with junior hockey, whereas, again, I'm not here to punch holes in the NHL game. I'll be watching an NHL game this weekend, like I'm sure you will. But there's not as big a momentum swings in that product because they're grown men, they're in position, they know what they're supposed to do. Our kids are 16 to 20, and you can get those big swings and the highs and lows. And I mean, I remember again, I don't want to bring up bad memories, but I remember Zach LaRue. We all remember him scoring,
Oh,
and we thought this is great. And then, you know,
I love the
a
room.
minute later, yeah, I hate to bring that up. I'm sure I'm going to be well liked bringing that up for all your viewers.
I absolutely love Zach. I've been trying to get him on the show for a while. A buddy of mine, Tyler, his mother Joanne has been trying to get him on the show. Yeah. So yeah, no, he's an incredible player, and I think he actually just moved on in the AHL to the next round as well.
Yeah.
He bleeds playoff hockey, and if we could have had him
Yeah.
back for one more year, I think that would have been our Gilles Coutreau trophy. That would have been Memorial Cup. That would have been everything in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
No, for sure.
if
Yeah.
you don't deal with the the acquisition side and such, does your day vary depending on it's a game day or not, or is it business as usual, same every day?
Every day is a little different. That's what's kind of, I think a lot of people in sports would tell you that it's nice. Every day is a little different. I'm not doing the same thing every day. Game day, of course, much like the fans, game day is a special day for staff as well. So, my role has changed for game days, so to speak. I'm here. I'm at every game. I don't have a specific task that I'm doing every game, like a lot of people or everyone on our team here. I'm here for support. I'm a part of our team. If there's some issues that do arise, hopefully I can be an asset and help there. But nothing crazy for my day. Usually most of our staff here, for a 7 p.m. game is here in the morning, and they're starting their process with things to get ready for the game, and I help out where I can.
No, it's great to. Sorry, I have a frog in my throat or something today. It's great to be a support, but your team, in all honesty, and I'm not trying to kiss anybody's butt, but McIntosh does a great job at what he does. Ryan is an incredible, for the production side of it, he's incredible. I've spoken with both of those guys as well as Cam on my show. You guys really do have the backbone to get the job done, and it's great that you're there for support. But if you're not needed, you're not needed, right?
Yeah, no, it's a good thing. I mean, I appreciate you saying that first and foremost. We have a great team here, and a lot of them have been here for a while too,
Yeah.
and they're more than capable. They don't need me barking over their shoulder how to do things. They're passionate. They know what they're doing. You mentioned a few of them. And they have the experience to get the job done, and they're still wanting to be better. So I'm very fortunate because I have a great team here, and it makes my life a lot easier. So I think about that quite a bit. We've been fortunate to bring in a lot of really solid people onto our team. We added you guys probably saw we added Brad Kuzner, who was a former player here, just a solid person. So it's good to have those people on our side off the ice. Because they make a difference.
I've actually reached out to Kuzner. He's agreed to come on the show once he's there and settled. So it'd be really cool to get his take on former player, turned organization or team member, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So, what are you most proud of in your career? What is it? Is on off the ice? Watching players or staff move up into their position, or the business end of it, balancing the budget, or whatever the case may be. What are you most proud about your position?
There's a number of things. I just alluded to them. I mean, I'm proud of our team.
Yeah.
Obviously, I've been here a while, and I've been involved in hiring several people. A lot of them I've been fortunate enough are still with us, but good people. Really proud of the work they do. We have a very family-based organization here, so it's everyone gets along. Very proud of that, for one. That would be a start. I mean, then I'd say look at some things. Like, I'm proud of our relationship, and our fans should be too, with the Canadian Forces. Credit to Bobby Smith, because he put that forth. He came from a military family himself, but we started that relationship 20 years ago, and it's an important part of our game. It's the Canadian Forces, as you know, Colin, is an important part of the fabric in Halifax as well.
1,000,000%.
So, we have a great relationship with them. Some of the stuff we've been able to do for veterans at Camp Hill has been awesome. So I'm proud of that. I would say some, playing personally, playing some smaller roles, and our team playing some smaller roles in getting World Juniors to come here last year. The Memorial Cup, when we hosted the Memorial Cup, was a very proud moment to be able to get that show on and put it off. Of course, on the ice went just about as well as it could have, minus winning right up until the end. But it was important for us to host that event and make sure our fans were in the stands and it was affordable for our fans. So that was one of the things when we bid on that event, that we wanted to make sure that we knew it was going to be a challenge, but we wanted to make sure that our season ticket holders were there for our games, and it wasn't filled with, people that were coming from out of town, that were corporate supporters of the CHL, which, don't get me wrong, we certainly support, but we wanted to make sure that the fans that were with us for 20 plus years were there for the key moment at the Memorial Cup. And then secondly, if we could do that, we wanted to make sure it was affordable. So we tried to price that. I think when we put it forth, it was the most affordable Memorial Cup in 10 or 15 years. I should know it off by hand, but that was really important to us because we had felt that Memorial Cup had been getting to a point where it was pricing out the core demo of junior hockey fans. So it was nice to be able to play a role in that. So very, very proud in that. And then you look at, I guess, some things, some less heralded things. We did ice projection in 2014, which was really fun. We were I think we were the first junior team to do that, and that was a big hit. Bringing in the pink jerseys for the league and starting that program to raise money for cancer. Trying to be, you're wearing one. Trying to be a leader within our league for stuff like that. It is important to us, and we take some pride in it. So. Those are just a few things. I mean, like I said, it's sort of on the ticket value. We really work hard. We understand it's not cheap to come to Moosehead games. It's a big commitment for families to give up their time to come down here all the time. But it's important that we feel that they're getting value, and that we fight hard to try and manage our expenses and our costs to make sure our ticket prices are affordable for our fans. And that's something we could always do a better job at it, but we feel we've done a pretty good job the last 30 years. Even the people before any of us that are here in the office did a tremendous job laying that foundation, and we just tried to carry the torch forward.
Well, so to be fair with ticket prices, it's actually relatively inexpensive if you're a season ticket holder. And for those who don't know, there's 6-month payment plans, which is what I do. I got to buy 4 tickets, right? So our season tickets are, it's around $1,800, but that's spread out over 6 months. So if you're only buying 1 or 2 tickets, it's relatively inexpensive. And the games that you don't go to, you can sell and get your money back through Ticketmaster. So is it pricey? It can be, but where else are you going to find the show that you guys offer? You know what I mean? I think it's a value.
We appreciate you saying that. It's great to hear coming from a fan like yourself. So I mean, that's what it's all about. I mean, but it's a commitment. It's not just price either. Like I said, it's time. We value people giving up their time 32 times a year to come down and watch our games, plus hopefully long playoff runs. Like that's a commitment. We're here too. We know what a commitment it is. So, I think we've done a pretty good job, but of course we can do a better job of putting ourselves in the shoes of the fans and trying to see what they really value and get better every year. And that's what we're doing in the summer right now, trying to figure out ways that, we can improve our product on and off the ice for fans.
And I love that because, like I said, I've spoken to Ryan, I've spoken to Scott, and they all encourage fans to email them and any suggestions. And, that goes a long way. I mean, at least with me, and I've spoken with Scott and Ryan multiple times. I have a couple things that I'm working out with Ryan now for fans coming up this season. Sure. So, you guys are always willing to hear us out and see what else you guys can do for the community. So, I mean, you guys are doing what you need to do. And, it can't be too easy being second largest fan base in the Q and third or fourth largest fan base in the CHL. Right? Like that's a big task. That's a tall order.
Yeah, no, well, we feel it's fortunate to have that. I mean, it's yes, it's a badge of honor for all of us, you, me, all of us, that we have that. We're such a great junior hockey town that we're able to have that support, but we also feel I guess an obligation certainly to make sure that we're doing the best we absolutely can to not only maintain that, but to improve it for our fans and for our players. The players want support, obviously. They know how lucky they are to play in Halifax. They were, we were obviously disappointed with how everything shook out in the playoffs, but no one was more disappointed than them. They were pretty cut up over it too. So moving forward, time to get better on both sides and go from there.
Back on the rebuild, bud. So
Yeah.
you stay out of the spotlight for the most part. Does that help you with your job, or would you like to be out in the stands? Hi, I'm Brian Urquhart. Or is it just not your personality?
It's certainly not intentional. I do my laps certainly during games, and I have my I talk to many fans on email. I mean, I have certainly have my favorites that I chat with all the time, and I chat with at the games. I think it's important for me. I'm just part of the team, and that's important. Like I said, we have a great team here. I'm here for support. So it's nothing intentional. I mean, with fans don't want to see me out shaking hands and waving to crowds. I understand what people want, but no, nothing intentional. I think it's just a little bit, I guess, a little bit my style, and kind of, like I said, I've done a number of roles here. So I kind of appreciate walking around. I've got to know a lot of fans over the years being here as long as I have, and I kind of enjoy that side of it, being able to walk around and chat. And I honestly like hearing the negative as much as I hate hearing the positive, as I've told many fans, because that's how we can get better.
So you grow.
Yeah, exactly.
100%. So the big question I'm going to ask you is, what's your favorite Moose memory? Favorite ever? 21 years. You must have a bunch. What's your favorite?
Yeah, there's a lot. Probably a lame answer and predictable answer, but like
2013,
winning the President Cup on home ice, in 2013 was certainly a highlight. And I think if you were to ask the players, I know you have a few that you've had on and a few more that you'll have come on that were on that team.
Yep.
I think if I had to guess, they would say that was even a bigger highlight than the Memorial Cup, because you win it on home ice, in front of a fan base that has been starved for one. And it was just so cool. But I guess my particularly favorite memory is in my role at the time. I guess I technically, was a vice president there, or owner was the president. But my job and another gentleman's job in the office, Travis Kennedy, our job was to make sure the players could celebrate and to keep fans off the ice. Because typically you've seen it before when teams win, they, whether it's the basketball where they storm the field, or football where they storm the field or whatnot. Anyway, that was our job. We failed miserably at it, because we had a bunch of fans that rushed on the ice at certain points, and I still laugh. We're getting pictures with McKinnon and Drew M. McCauley and all these guys. And I think it was looking back on it, we said after, it was the greatest accident that we ever could have, because it was so perfect. I still run into fans that show me the picture of them and Nathan and Jonathan on the ice with the President Cup, and I think it was awesome. So even though we might have got a few choice words for letting people on, maybe from league officials, it was a happy accident, and I'm glad. I have zero regrets, and it certainly was a favorite memory to have the players out there celebrating with fans was pretty cool. And I'm not saying all the fans were out there, but there was way more than we were probably supposed to have.
Yeah, it could have been a bit of a liability, but looking back, nobody was hurt, and it was a wonderful experience.
No, exactly. Exactly. So it was, I thought that was pretty cool. And then, of course, the city that night, everybody remembers that night was certainly buzzing. So it was a lot of fun.
So is there anything you'd like to say, 21 years, to Bobby, to the Simon, to the fans, to the players past and present, your team there at headquarters? Is there anything you'd like to say for your time with the Mooseheads? I
mean, thank you for starters. I mean, I feel Feels like I'm saying I'm going away right now. This is
it's the last question we ask everybody. It gives you a chance to say, whatever you want, right?
I'm joking. No, thank you. I mean, I've been fortunate. I know how fortunate I am. I feel like I've had the best job in the city for 21 years.
That's awesome.
Tell people that before. I have, I had my first boss, Bobby Smith, was just a tremendous mentor and owner. I still chat with him now. He put so much faith and trust in me to do the job and let me screw up, which, hopefully made me better. Then I've been fortunate to have a new ownership group that has been just the same. And, it's been great to work with as well. So I feel really blessed with that. And then, I guess speaking on behalf of the team, our fan support, as I alluded to, I mean, I don't want to beat the drum too much, but like we've been so fortunate to have the support we do. We know that we don't have a first place team every year, but that support has been there every year that I've been here and the years prior. And I mean, we've been around, as you know, next year will be our 31st season. So it's really amazing. And I hope we know, and I'm sure the fans know how special that is, the junior hockey community here. If they don't, they probably weren't at World Juniors, because every second person that came here, whether it be from Ontario, Manitoba, West, what have you, has said, like, there's nothing like junior hockey in Halifax. And we saw that, whether it's through the Mooseheads, the Memorial Cup, but definitely at the World Juniors, a year and a half ago or whatever it was. So, we're really fortunate to have the support we do, and it's not something we take for granted. So.
That's awesome, man. Listen, I want to say thank you again for making the time to come on our little channel, and to speak to the Moose fans about your time. I hope we have a hell of a year. We are in a bit of a rebuild, but that doesn't mean anything. We can still surprise and shock some people. We got some great talent on the team this year, and that's it, man. Just thank you.
Yeah, no, likewise. I appreciate what you guys are doing and giving fans a voice, a spot where they can see some of the current players, old players from. It's really neat, as you said, to see some of the alumni from before and chat with them. So it's really cool. No, we really appreciate it and look forward to seeing everyone, and we'll get through the summer and see everyone in October.
So wait, are you saying that you've watched the channel and you've watched some former Mooseheads on the channel?
I've seen
Nice.
I've seen a few things. Yeah, no, for sure. No, and I think it's great to see. It's great to talk to those, like I said, because they're great ambassadors for our program, but it's also to be able to give fans an avenue to see where these players are now. I think it's important because you kind of players come and go, but it's nice to kind of keep that connection, like we said, down the road and see what they're up to.
Yeah, that's the strange thing about junior hockey. It's not like NHL where we have them for 12, 14 years.
Yeah.
We have 4 years. That's it, right? So when they're gone, they're gone. Yeah. Anyways, everybody, that was Brian Urquhart, president of the Halifax Mooseheads. Hope you're all healthy, safe, and happy out there. And as always, go Moose, go.